of the huge bonfire about 50 feet to her right. The frigid pocket of air announced the spirit's presence loud and clear, even if the words were only for Kylie's ears and not for the 30 other Shadow Falls campers standing in the ceremonial circle. Miranda stood by Kylie in the people chain, completely unaware of the ghost, and gripped Kylie's hand tighter. "This is so cool," Miranda muttered, and looked across the circle at Della. Miranda and Della were not only Kylie's closest friends, but also her cabin mates. "We give thanks for this offering." Chris, or Christopher as he referred to himself tonight, stood in the middle of the circle and raised the sacred goblet up to the dark sky as he blessed its contents. "You have to stop it," the spirit whispered over Kylie's shoulder again, hindering her concentration on the ritual. Closing her eyes, Kylie envisioned the spirit the way she had appeared to her several times now, mid-30s, long dark hair, and wearing a white gown, a gown covered in blood. Frustration bounced around Kylie's already tightened gut. How many times had she pleaded with this spirit to explain, to tell her who, what, when, where, and why, only to have the dead woman repeat the same warning. Long story short, ghosts just coming out of the closet sucked at communication. Probably as bad as beginner ghost whisperers sucked at getting them to communicate. Kylie's only option was to wait until the ghost could somehow explain her warning. Now, however, wasn't the optimal time. "I'm kind of busy right now, so unless you can explain in detail, can we chat later?" The words formed in Kylie's mind, hoping the ghost could read her thoughts. Thankfully, the chill running down Kylie's spine evaporated, and the night's heat returned. Texas heat. Muggy, thick, and hot, even without the bonfire. "Thank you." Kylie tried to relax, but the tension in her shoulders remained knotted, and for a good reason. Tonight's ceremonial event, sort of a show and tell, was another first in her life. A life that was so much simpler before she knew she wasn't all human. Of course, it would help if she could identify her non-human side. Unfortunately, the only person who knew the answer was Daniel Brighton, her real dad. She hadn't known he existed until he'd paid a visit to her a little over a month ago, and he'd obviously decided to let Kylie deal with her identity crisis all on her own. He seldom visited anymore, bringing a whole new meaning to the term deadbeat dad. Yep, Daniel was dead. Died before she was born. Kylie wasn't sure if they offered parenting classes in the hereafter, but she was tempted to suggest he find out. Because now, when he did drop by, she would catch him watching her, and just when she started to ask him a question, he'd fade away, leaving only a cold chill and her unanswered questions. "Okay," Chris said. "Release your hands, clear your mind, but whatever you do, do not break the circle." Kylie, along with the crowd, followed his directions. Yet as she released her hands, Kylie's mind refused to clear. A whisper of wind picked up a few strands of her long blonde hair and scattered it across her face. She brushed it behind her ear. Was her deadbeat dad afraid she was going to ask for sex advice or something? That always had her mom disappearing from a room, running around in search of another "give this to your teen" pamphlet. Not that Kylie had actually asked her mom for sex advice. Honestly, she was the last person Kylie would go to for that kind of advice. Why, the mere mention of her being interested in a boy sent her mom into a panic as the letters SEX practically flashed in her mom's eyes. Thankfully, since Kylie had been shipped off to Shadow Falls camp, the supply of sex-related pamphlets had declined. Who knew what she'd missed this last month? There might have been a few STDs discovered that she didn't know about. No doubt her mom was stockpiling them for when Kylie went home for a visit in 3 weeks. A visit she wasn't looking forward to.